are, how it's being used. My role within Research in Motion is, as a solutions consultant. So that doesn't mean I'm a healthcare expert, but it's really sitting with partners who develop these solutions, sitting with hospitals, the right stakeholders, and collaborating and making the solution feasible. It's not very easy because we've heard there are so many stakeholders in this, and I think the previous speakers also covered that there are no standards, and integration is also a big challenge. So we've just started very recently in India. Healthcare is a very big focus within Research in Motion worldwide. In India, we just started very recently. We have few partners. So today what I will do is just share briefly what's happening, what kind of solutions are being developed. So that just gives you an idea, and hopefully, we'll all come and work together to build more compelling solutions. So what we understand is, there are 4 quadrants, when it comes to healthcare, whether it's on the patient side, physician side, nurse and home care. Each category has its own, functional needs. So we have point solutions to address to all these. Some are like, B2C kind of apps, which are there on the App Store, but, one can download it. Then some are very, very specific, which has to be implemented into hospitals and so on with tight integration. So these are the 4 areas, and very interesting to see, how things are growing very fast. Specifically, I guess, we know that the penetration of smartphones is also happening very rapidly, along with the tablets. Now, with the advent of tablets, a lot of interest is being created specifically on the medical images, because it's much easier to see it on a larger screen, be it 7-inch or 9-inch or 10-inch. So the ability to view and give an opinion or share with fellow doctors for a second opinion is a reality today. So these are in the initial phases. There has been some kind of pilots being done in India. But very interesting is, we have almost, believe it or not, 4 partners at this event from Research in Motion who are showcasing their solutions. So I'll just touch upon their solutions also, just to give you an idea. And when you have the time, please do visit their kiosk, where they'll be more than happy to share the story around the solutions on healthcare. But what we believe is, the real-time information being pushed. So the push architecture, what we talk about in a mobile environment is, in real time, when certain parameters, when you set certain algorithm or parameters, and if it goes above or below, the ability of the system to push this information on the device automatically based on the algorithm. So that's what the push architecture becomes very, very critical and very important when it comes to, patient and their life. So these kind of alerts, alarms, notification, collaboration tools, very important, like the BlackBerry Messenger. It's like an instant messaging. But you get to know when it is delivered, when it is read in real time. So you know that the message has gone. So these are all the areas what we see, the clinical collaboration part happening. And needless to say, the hospital information system is also very critical, where right from the time the patient enters the hospital till he or she leaves, how this is integrated back end. It's not very easy speaking to all the stakeholders, but we started making small steps in that direction. So other part, I think we did cover this earlier, but it's all about the devices integrating with backend systems, and also with all these peripherals what you see. Whether you want to monitor your heart rate, your blood sugar levels, blood pressure, so these are all the areas, the monitors, the central monitoring system, what you have in ICUs. How do you do and how do you integrate? So, some work has been done specifically in India where I have been involved. So, I'll just share some of the areas. But before we go into the Indian context, this was a case study which was done some time back in Canada. This is purely for type 2 diabetes. What the monitoring basically for home care patients happens at home, right? So what they did was, they had a BlackBerry smartphone. Surprisingly, smartphones are with us, 24/7. So how do you use it more effectively? So using a smartphone, the idea was, using to any of the Bluetooth-enabled peripherals for your blood sugar or for your heart rate. Over Bluetooth, it communicates with the smartphone, without the user having to run an application. The application is always running in the background. So moment you basically do a reading, over Bluetooth it goes to the smartphone, and then that goes to the backend server. And from the server, it's pushed to any physician. The algorithms are set if it goes above or below this level. Depending on the critical nature, the physician is informed, and then they make contact with the home care patient. And it also gives you this kind of reading automatically, depending on what you set. If it's too high, what's your preventive action, immediate, what you need to do. So it's sometimes very useful for home care patients to have a look in these kind of solutions. So this is what was done, multiple mobile devices, whether they be smartphone or they be tablet. So today they have a working solution which pushes images onto Playbook, the tablet from Research in Motion. You can have a look. That gives you the quality of images which is being sent, and how the diagnosis can be done remotely. And there is a pilot which is being done. So these are some of the screenshots on the telemedicine side. What you see is the ophthalmology, the cardiology, and sonography. So you can have a look at these images in real time at their kiosk, and the quality is quite good, what they tell us. So you can pinch, pan, the zoom, and then go much deeper into this. To know the architecture, the solution, how it works, you're more than welcome to talk to them. Yeah. We have another partner, MPHRX. Again, they have a kiosk here at this event. So they have both the cloud solution where all the somewhat similar on the imaging side. Mostly what you see is sending images, the medical images, to the doctor, where they can see it in real time, push this information in a report form, and it goes for second opinion or anything, and some kind of workflows have been built. But the imaging quality is what matters, and I believe they are really large file size. It's not that simple, and they have the algorithms built in, I believe, which in a very compressed way and very reliable way it is pushed. So this is how the solutions have been built for India market. And the last partner is Sero Solutions. They don't have a kiosk, but it's a partner from the UK for Research in Motion. So they're also doing, surprisingly, a pilot in India based on near-field communication. NFC tag is being used. So this is how it looks if you see at the bottom quadrant. So it's an NFC questionnaire kind of card. In clinical trials, based on the medication what you have, you just punch in, you just touch it, and it records all the information. So at the end of the trial period, if you touch your smartphone to this questionnaire, it picks up all the information and transfers to the backend system. So they're working in this kind of pilot situations and trying to see how this can be more applicable in rural areas, what can be done using NFC. But these are all very early days, and we are all trying to make it more feasible, more commercially viable. So that was in short. I just wanted to share a few stories as to what we are doing in India. But I think the future looks very promising, very bright. We know that the prices, obviously, hardware keeps coming down year by year. They just can't go up. It has to come down. So you see that also happening within Research in Motion. So there'll be a few more things happening. So keep tuned. And but it's very promising to see that in real time, information going to the relevant stakeholders, both in data and image form, and the ability to collaborate, communicate in real time is, I think, what differentiates. Thank you. Any questions? I'm willing to take.
Any questions?
Oh yeah, the Playbook does support video conference, and in fact, one of our customer who's doing a pilot, I don't want to give the name because it'll be announced, I believe, tomorrow by a partner, but they're also doing video conference remotely when these images are sent from a remote location to the main hospital. They basically, diagnose it and in real time send it. And if required, you can have a video conference from one playbook to other playbook, the tablet, and talk to the patient too in real time.
Is the playbook with Wi-Fi or with cellular?
Yeah, the one which we have now is Wi-Fi enabled, but any smartphone can be tethered with the playbook, so it's always on.
Megapixel.
Yeah, it's 5 megapixel.
Any other question? Yes.
Yeah, but I think as far as, see, we are in the business of the smartphones or the tablets, right? Now, there are only security kind of compliance which we cater to, and those are certified, like FIPS compliance, that's what we take care. But anything on the healthcare, that certification obviously is not done, but the partners basically have to ensure that the solutions they build on the software side are compliant. But I think from the device angle, we do not have those certifications. But more on the security, yes, we do have.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.